Well, good morning and welcome to this class. We're going to start on a cushion or a blanket or on the mat. Just get yourself into a comfortable seated position, whatever that is, so you can sit for a few moments quietly. We're going to rest the hands down onto the thighs. You're going to lift up through the crown of the head. Just drop the shoulders down. Take a big breath in, fill the belly, and then out. You can exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale, fill the belly, and exhale through the mouth. Inhale deeply, fill the belly, and exhaling fully through the mouth. Let's do two more just like that. Inhaling, filling the belly, and then exhaling through the mouth. Last time, inhale, and exhale. Good, you can flicker open your eyes. We're just going to walk the hands a little bit forward now. Just a little bit. Drop the palms down onto the floor. Make sure the hands are shoulder distance apart. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and then just tuck the chin very gently. And we're going to breathe in, and I want you to feel the back and the side of your ribs this time as you breathe in. And then exhaling through the nose. Again, inhale. Exhale through the nose. One more like that. And we're going to walk the hands over the right side, just a little, not too far at all, and then drop the chin in, and then inhale and really feel that left side of your body as you take that inhale. And exhaling. Two more just like that. Walking the hands slowly back now into the center. Tuck the chin in and take a big inhale there. And moving to that left side. Nice and slow. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, feel that right side body as you breathe in. And out. And two more just like that. And then walking the hands slowly now back into center. Take one more breath in the middle. And out. And then rolling up through the spine as you walk the hands back in. The head, the neck and the shoulders slot back into place. Lovely. And then just closing the eyes again. Soften through the belly. And just taking note of your breath as it is with you at the moment. Lovely. Now just opening the eyes. We're going to reach the fingertips, both fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms facing each other, arms shoulder distance or even a little bit further apart. If the shoulders are tight, it can be nice just to open them up. We're just going to move the arms in their sockets. Good. So try and move from the shoulders and not just the hands. Good. It's a tiny movement. You don't really get very much movement up there at all. Good. And then facing the palms forwards, reach up towards the ceiling with the fingertips, and now drop the shoulder blades down the back. Good. And then we're going to move from the middle of our bodies, keeping the hands like this. So we're going to move towards the left. See if you can keep the arms as they are and just very gently rotate around. Again, it's a tiny movement, and then coming back into center, trying to keep the head in between the arms. Good. Moving to that other side. And then coming back into center and then releasing the arms down. Interlace the fingers behind. Open the chest. Lift the hands a little bit away from the floor. And then we're just going to move towards the left. And back to center, and then moving towards the right. We're keeping the chin sort of in the center, not moving or looking over the shoulders just yet. And again, back to center. Let's do that again. Keep lifting up through the crown of the head. Good. And then to the other side. Brilliant. And then back to center, and then releasing the arms out in front. Interlace the fingers, palms facing in. Drop the shoulders down. Tuck the chin in gently and sort of get into a C curve with that spine. So we're not collapsing down onto the chest with the chin. We're just slowly, gently opening up the back of the body. Good. And then rolling back up onto those sit bones, head, neck, and shoulders up. Drop the arms. Brilliant. Let's just rotate the wrists in one direction and then in the opposite direction. Good. Bring them back. Bring them forward. Bring them back. Bring them forward, and then just shake them out. Good. And we're going to move now onto our hands and knees. So just coming off the blanket or your cushion, if you have one there, putting it close by, coming onto the hands and the knees. Let's get the knees and the hips in line with each other, and the shoulders and the wrist creases in line with each other, and hands shoulder distance apart. Good. From here, we're going to drop the belly down, lift the chin, shoulders away from the ears, and then we're going to move in the opposite direction, nice and slowly, just flowing from one position into the other, and let the breath flow with you as well. So inhaling in one direction and then exhaling in the other. So as you end one part of your breath, you connect that to the movement, and you can start moving as you begin the new part. Good. Really opening up that spine and the front body as well. Lovely. One more in each direction. And then coming back into a neutral position with the spine. Take the toes together and the knees to the edge of the mat, and just sit the bum back onto the heels. And rest the head down onto the hands here. Take the shoulders away from the ears. We're just going to look at the breath, or notice the breath again. And try and direct the breath as we breathe in. A big inhale into those back and side ribs. Maybe you'll feel the ribs on the front of your thighs as they expand. And then as you exhale, See if you can release down through the hips a little bit. Let's do 2 more just like that. Inhaling fully. And then exhaling. One more. Inhale. And then exhaling. Good. And then rolling all the way up. Take the knees together. And we're sitting back onto the heels. Rest the hands down onto the thighs. Lift up through the crown of the head. Just take a breath here. And then we're going to slide the hands down all the way back up towards the top of the mat. We're going to curl the toes under. We're coming straight into downward facing dog. Pressing the palms of the hands down into the mat, and maybe just walking the heels one at a time. Let the head just hang down between the arms. Make sure those hands are shoulder distance apart. Good. Now we're going to just walk the feet towards the hands or the hands towards the feet. We're going to come all the way up, just sliding the hands all the way up the legs, reaching them up, and then bringing them down in front of you. Palms pressed together, shoulders open, elbows down, lifting up through the crown of the head. Take a big deep breath in, exhaling through the mouth. And again, inhaling, this time bringing the arms all the way up. And then exhaling, just like a waterfall, just flowing all the way down towards the floor. The knees are bent. Let the head go completely here. The shoulders are loose and free. Nice big bend in the knees. You can wiggle about here. Just see if you can release through that low back as you're in this forward fold. And then we're going to slide the fingertips up halfway, so up kind of towards the knees, lengthen out through the spine. So nice straight spine, crown of the head pointing forward. Good, we're going to slide the legs down again and go into that nice forward fold. Let's do that twice more. Let's inhale now on the way up. Lengthening through the spine, shoulders back away from the ears. Exhaling, sliding those legs down towards the floor. Let the head go. And inhaling, coming all the way or halfway. Good. And then exhaling down to the floor. This time, find the floor with the palms of the hands, and you're going to step back with the left leg towards the back of the mat. You're going to bring that left knee back down onto the mat. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling with the hands. We're going to bring the hands straight back down onto the floor for this kind of easy flowing class. You're going to take that right leg back in plank or half plank. Good. From here, we're going to lower all the way down to the floor, either with the knees down or in one go. Inhaling, low cobra. And then exhaling, pressing back up into downward facing dog. We're not going to hang out here for long. We're going to take that left foot forward and that right knee back. And we're going to reach up towards the ceiling with those fingertips. We're going to bring the hands back down onto the floor. The right leg is going to meet the left. We're going to inhale halfway, and then we're going to exhale and let everything hang down again. Let the head go, the shoulders go, the arms go. Good. And then we're going to come all the way up to fully upright position. Hands together at the top and then in front of the heart. Good. Take a breath here. Big inhale, big exhale. And then inhaling, reaching the arms out wide, press the palms of the hands together. Let everything flow down. Nice and easy, big bend in those knees. The hands go, the head go. We're going to come halfway up on that inhale and then all the way down with that exhale. This time we're stepping back with the right foot. Knee comes back down to the floor. We're reaching up to the ceiling with those fingertips. Good. You're taking the hands back down onto the mat. We're stepping back into plank or half plank. Good. And then we're going all the way down and coming up into your low cobra. Good. Pressing all the way back up into plank or half plank and into downward facing dog. Just take a couple of little steps here before we move again. Good. You're going to step forward with the right foot. The left knee comes down. Reaching up towards the ceiling with those fingertips. Hands come down. Left leg, left foot joins right foot. Inhale halfway. And then exhale. Let everything hang down. You can hold on to your arms this time if you like, or your elbows. Let the head go completely. Let the arms go. The shoulders go. Good. Releasing the fingers. We're going to come all the way up, rolling up nice and slow until we come to Tadasana, and then we're reaching the arms out, pressing the palms together and bringing the hands down in front of the heart. We're just going to hold it here for a breath or two. Good. And then arms out wide, press the palms together and folding down all the way to the floor. Good. We're going to step back with the right. We're going to step back with the left. We're going to hold it in plank or half plank here. Shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head, moving forward. Reaching out through the heels, draw the low belly in. The knees come down onto the floor. We're going to take the right foot behind and the left foot out with the toes pointing forward. You're just going to reach up towards that ceiling with the left hand. Good. That hand comes back down. You're going to find yourself in plank or half plank again. Breath or two here. The knees come down, so that left foot comes behind, the right foot lengthens away, reaching up to the ceiling with those right fingertips. Good. The hand comes down, legs come behind, you're back into plank. Good, and then just coming up into downward facing dog. We're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Lovely. Bring the knees down onto the floor. Toes together, knees to the edge of the mat. Just sitting back onto those heels, resting the head down onto the floor. Breathing into those side ribs, the back ribs, right down to the base of the lower spine. Shoulders away from the ears. One or two more breaths here. And then we're going to roll all the way back up. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Let's do a little cat-cow here. So dropping the belly down, shoulders back. And then coming through. A couple of more breaths. Like this. Good, and then coming back to a neutral position with the spine. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears and you've spread the fingers really wide here. We're just going to curl the toes under of that right foot and push back out through that right heel. Brilliant. And then from here, you're going to lift the right arm up alongside the ear. You're not touching the ear, but you're reaching forward with the fingertips. The crown of the head is moving forward. Then you're going to slide the toes out of that right leg and then lift those toes up. Brilliant. We're just going to hold here for a moment. Tuck those low ribs in so you're not arching through the back. You've got still kind of keeping that neutral position with the spine. The glute muscles are switched on. And then we're going to curl up. So we're going to bring the elbow in towards the knee or the knee in towards the elbow. The chin tucks in, inhaling here and then exhaling, reaching out. Or the opposite way with the breath. You decide. Good. Let's do 2 more. And reaching out. 1 more. And then reaching away. Brilliant. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. We go into that opposite side. So you curl the toes under of that left foot, reach out with that right arm, lift that opposite leg up to hip height. You're reaching out through the toes, reaching out through the fingertips, and then curling in and out. 2 more in and out, nice and slow. We're not rushing it, inhaling and then exhaling. Good, that left hand comes down, that right hand comes down, that left knee comes down, sorry. And then toes together, knees apart. Just sitting back for 1 or 2 breaths here. Resting the head onto the hands, breathing into that low back. Good, and then sliding all the way back up. Good, we're going to reach out with that left arm and we're going to step back with that right leg again. Good, so you're going to lift that right leg up off the floor. Brilliant, this time toes pointed down. Good, we're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Brilliant, and then that left hand comes back down onto the mat. The hands are shoulder distance apart. We're going to see if we can try and keep that back leg lifted. If not, if you feel like you want to drop it down, that's totally fine. We're going to move from here, hopefully, into downward facing dog with our leg lifted. So you're going to curl the toes under of that left foot, shoulders away from the ears, lift the low belly in, and then just lift yourself up and back. Lift that right leg. It doesn't matter if that right leg won't come or you weren't able to get it up off the floor. Downward dog with the leg down is totally fine. Good. And then we're going to come back into our one-legged plank. And then that knee comes down. The knees come down. And you sit the bum back towards the heels. Just taking a little breather. Good. Slide the hands forward. Coming all the way onto your hands and knees again. So opposite side this time. You're reaching forward with the right arm, reaching back with the left. Good, and you can lift those toes up. This side feels like it's going to be way less smooth than the last side for me. And then you're going to take that arm down. You're going to curl the toes under of that right foot and then lifting that low belly in, just push into the leg. Whoosh, all the way up. Good. Let the head go. Holding here for a breath, and then we're going to come forward into plank, either from downward dog with the 2 legs or your leg lifted. Either way, we all end up in plank or half plank. Good. Holding it here for a breath. Knees down, toes together, and sit all the way back onto the heels, resting the head down onto the hands, shoulders away from the ears. Good work, everybody. A breath or 2 here. Good. And then we're going to slide the hands forward, curl the toes under, knees hip distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. We're going to come back up into downward facing dog. Just holding it here for a couple of breaths. So walking the heels if you feel like you still want to stretch out those calf muscles or the hamstrings. Let the head go. Shoulder blades moving down the back, really pressing the palms of the hands into the mat. And even you can kind of even grip the mat with the tops of the fingertips. And just see how that maybe changes the sensation in your arms and your shoulders. Good. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet, or the feet towards the hands. Good. Nice big bend in the knees. And then we're going to roll slowly all the way up. So just let the head go, the arms go. The very last thing to slot into place are the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Brilliant. From here, we're going to step back with the left foot. So we're getting ready to come into Trikonasana. So that right heel is in line with the left arch or the left heel. Good. We're going to reach the arms forward. And I'm going to move through slowly in this next kind of little sequence. So drop the shoulders down. We're going to reach out over and come all the way down for a Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hands on the shins. They can be lower down. They can be higher up. We're going to open up through the chest. You can keep the hand on the hip if it feels like it gives you more direction when you're trying to move those ribs around and the hip back. If you feel like you can lift that arm up and look up towards the thumb. Good. So we're going to move slowly through this first one. We'll go through it twice. So we're going to press into the front foot. We're going to come all the way back up with our upper body. Legs stay the same. You're going to turn the palm of the hand up on the hand that's forward and reach back. Just gently opening up this side body here. Good. And now coming all the way back into Trikonasana. We're going to bend into the front knee. We're going to reach down towards the floor. Now come as far with me as you like on this, a little or a lot, or come back into Trikonasana if it feels like too much. So we're going to drop the hand and we can hop that back foot in a little bit. The hand is maybe a foot or less in front of the baby toe really side of that front foot. Okay, so we're here. You can stay here. If you feel like it, woo, you can see if you can lift or hover that back foot up off the floor. Maybe even think about trying to straighten that front leg. Maybe flexing the foot of the back leg up. Good. See if you can lift that leg a little bit higher. And we're not going to stay here for long. So we're going to drop that back foot back onto the mat. We're going to come all the way, gracefully gliding, flowing through. Good. Reaching back. And then we're going to cartwheel the hands, whoosh, all the way, nice and slowly down towards the floor. You swivel on that back foot. We're going to step back with the right foot, bring the knees down onto the floor. And we're going to go chin, chest, belly, down onto the mat. And we're going to open up into a little baby cobra. So the hands are in by the chest, elbows back, shoulder blades down. And then we're going to come back up through plank into downward facing dog. Good. And we're going to walk the hands towards the feet. And then we're going to roll all the way up, so the head go. All the way back. The head, the neck, the shoulders, all slotting back into place. So we're stepping back with that opposite side now. Good. Nice and slowly. We're going to reach out over the front toes. We're going to drop the hand down wherever it wants to go. Hand comes onto the hip or it opens up towards the ceiling. So you're really feeling that stretch on, or I am anyway, in through that inner thigh of the leg that's in front. And then we're coming all the way up. Reaching back. Good. Now for my tricky side. So I'm going to bend into this front knee. I'm going to hop the leg up the mat a little bit, the back leg. I'm going to reach down. Right. And then slowly, slowly floating that back leg up. I'm going to keep a bend in my front leg until I feel a little bit more secure. And then maybe trying to flex the leg that's behind. Lift, 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 and then bring it back down onto the mat. Coming into that open half Trikonasana shape, and then we're going to cartwheel. Bend the front knee and cartwheel the arms down onto the floor. Swivel on the back foot. Step back into plank. Knees down. Chin, chest, belly. Inhale, open. And then exhale back into your downward facing dog. Or maybe into child's pose. Good. We're going to walk the right foot forward, the left foot forward. Bend the knees, let the head go, but bring the arms out wide this time. Inhaling and then exhaling, hands down. So we're going to move through that little sequence again. In a moment, just take a breath here. Enjoy any sensations. Like my heart rate is definitely up, even after that little bit of movement. Good. So we're going to step back with that left foot. Opening up into Trikonasana. And then coming straight back. Reverse Trikonasana. And then let's just flow down to the floor. Open up the leg wherever it wants to go. Back down. Opening up. We're going to cartwheel the arms down. I will meet you all in downward facing dog rather than going through to the floor. Good. Step forward with the left, step forward with the right. Reach out with those arms and bring them back down in front of the heart. Step back with that right foot now. Opening up. Trikonasana. Reverse the triangle. Good. Bend that front knee. Bring the hand down onto the floor. Good. And don't fall over like I did. Good. Cartwheel the hands down. And then take that left leg back and come back into downward facing dog. We're going to do it one more time. Step forward with the left foot. Step forward with the right. Don't hold the breath. Inhaling, bringing the arms out wide. Exhaling, hands to heart. Good. Step back with that left foot. Open the arms. Reach down for Trikonasana. Come all the way up, reaching back. Good. Down. Lifting that back leg up. Flexing the toes, maybe reaching the arm. Bringing the hand. Oh, I skipped a bit, didn't I? So bring the arms back up. Come into your reverse triangle. Apologies for that last little. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much. Arms down. Step back into plank and straight back into downward dog. Good. And step back up with the left and the right. Bend the knees deeply, then press the floor over the feet. Press the hands together and bring the hands in front of the heart. You're going to step back with that right foot. Good. Opening up to Trikonasana. Good. Reversing. Good. Hop that back foot in and lift that back leg up. Good. This time come back through reverse triangle and then cartwheeling those arms down. Stepping back into plank. This time we are going to come all the way down to the floor. Chin, chest, belly. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Pressing back into child's pose. So toes together, knees apart. Resting the head down onto the hands. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. You're breathing right down into the base of the spine. Another breath or two here. Good, and we're going to roll all the way back up. Take the knees together. Resting the hands onto the thighs, lift up through the crown of the head. Good. We're going to slide the hands forward. We're going to do a little bit of opening in the hips here. So we're going to work into pigeon pose on that right side. So that right knee comes forward. You can take the foot and leave it behind, like in this kind of sleeping swan position here, where the top of the foot is on the mat. Or if you want to work it a little bit deeper, you can see if you can wiggle that foot a little bit more forward. You're on the side of the foot is flexed. Good. The hips should feel nice and warm from all the work we've done. So just bringing the elbows down onto the floor. Maybe you need to lift that back knee, so curl the toes under and bring it back a little bit there, giving yourself a little bit more space. Maybe resting the head down onto the hands. And using your cushion if you need to under that hip or in at the pelvis, whatever you need. Just connecting with the breath here. Another breath or two here. And then instead of coming back up and releasing the leg, see if you can roll over onto the right hip a little bit there. And see if you can wiggle yourself up just like that. We're going to take this left leg, the foot that was behind, and bring it behind. The top of the foot is on the floor of that left foot. Good. You're going to reach the arms out long. We're going to reach over towards that right side. Big stretch out. Come all the way back into center and reach out over that other side. Just hold it here for a breath or two. Maybe rotating the body down. Maybe taking both of those hands down towards the floor. Or just keeping it here and opening. Whatever feels good. And then coming all the way back into center. With a stretch that way. Good. And then back into center. We're going to switch those legs around. Good. And we're going to reach. Come back into center and reach. And then back into center. See about bringing those arms down. It doesn't feel as open as the other side. So when you do these on the opposite side, it can be maybe a little bit strange in the body. Or opening up. Shoulders away from the ears. Back into center. Cartwheel those hands back down onto the mat. Let's just see if we can, from here, bring ourselves gracefully, that's the word, I'll try and use that for myself, back into downward facing dog. So just curl and come up on that toe, on that knee, stretch the leg back, maybe holding it in plank, and then into downward facing dog. Just taking a breath on that other side. We're going to pigeon on that other side now. So I'm bringing my left leg forward. I'm going to wiggle my foot. Release the foot down onto the floor, that back leg. Maybe bring that knee back a little bit. And then when you're ready, come down onto the elbows. See how it feels. Maybe you want to stay here. Maybe you're going to come all the way back down. Release the shoulders from the ears. Again, just trying to focus in on that breath now. Good. Another breath or two here. And slowly, slowly Coming all the way up. This time we're going to lift that back knee up off the floor and then slide that leg back and just walk it out in downward facing dog. Good. You're pressing out through the backs of the legs now, lifting the hip bones up towards the ceiling, but let the head go. Press the palms of the hands into the mat. And then slowly, let's go into a plank just for a moment, pushing back through the heels, shoulders away from the ears, and then we're going to bring the knees down and sit back onto our heels. We're not going to come into child's pose, we're going to come straight all the way back into hero pose, resting the hands down onto the thighs, lift up through the crown of the head. Let's take a breath or two here. Good, and then just bring your hands down onto the floor, slide your feet under and bring yourself towards the top of your mat. Hold on to the back of your thighs, curl your chin in towards your chest and then roll down slowly towards the floor. Good. And then just walk the feet in towards your bum a little bit. Feet are hip distance apart. Brilliant. So from here, just planting the hands down onto the floor. We're going to take an inhale and then on your exhale, just lifting the tailbone, we're going to roll up into bridge. So picking each vertebrae up one by one until you come onto the shoulders. So all of the kind of pressure and the weight is in the shoulders and not in the neck or the head. Good. Lift those hips up. Make sure the knees are staying at that hip distance. They're not falling out to the sides. You're really pressing into the feet. And then we're going to roll all the way back down. So nice to roll down on an exhale here, especially one through the mouth. This one releases everything slowly back down. Good. And let's do that again. Inhale and then exhale to lift. Good. And then rolling all the way back down. Good. Walk the heels back an inch or two more. Okay. Good. Maybe you can graze the fingertips to the top of those heels, but don't worry if you're not. It's just so we can really support ourselves with our feet and our legs now for this next one. So we're going to lift the hips straight up towards the ceiling. Brilliant. From here, just knees, hips, ribs, all in one straight line. We're going to press into that left foot and then we're going to lift the right leg up into tabletop position here. Good. And then you're going to bring that right foot down. You're going to press into the right foot and lift the left leg up. Good. So keep the hips lifted. We're going to walk the feet a little bit here. Good. Lifting 1, 2. You want to pick up the pace a little bit here. Marching the feet. Good. Keep lifting the hips. Draw the low belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring both the feet down. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, then rolling down through the spine. Brilliant. Bring one knee in. Bring the other knee in. Just rolling on that low back. Good. And then just release the left leg out, holding onto that right leg, either on the top of the knee or onto the back of the thigh, whatever feels kind of comfortable. And just kind of gently pressing the leg in or the knee in, maybe towards the outside of those right ribs. Good. And then release that leg, slide it away, and bring that left leg in. Good. Bring that left foot down onto the floor. Let's bring the right foot in as well. So let's bring the feet out towards the edges of your mat on either side. And let's bring the arms out wide here also. Good. Just make sure they're below your shoulders. And we're just going to drop the legs out to the right side. Good. You can look over that left shoulder if that feels okay. So we're really kind of just stretching up into the front of the thighs here and also around the hip. Good. Another breath or two here. If you want to maybe extend that stretch a little bit, what you can do here is take the right foot and bring it on top of the knee and see if that kind of gives you a better stretch or kind of more of a stretch into the front. For me, it's all in the front of my thighs here, to the quad muscles. And then releasing and bringing both knees back into center, and then the same, maybe just readjust the hips in the center and then drop down to the other side. And adjusting the feet as you need to, because sometimes with these stretches, what can happen is it kind of twists into the low back. So just for a second there, I could feel it just here on this part of my low back. So just a little adjustment with the feet takes it back into the front of my legs again. I'm going to just take my foot and bring it down on top of the other leg. Brilliant. Release the foot if it's on top, and then bring those feet back up or the knees back up. Good. Walk the feet in a little bit and then just bring the knees together. Bring the arms back down by your side. Good. And then separating the knees, you're just going to bring that right ankle onto the top of the right or the left thigh. Good. And then you're going to lift the left foot up off the ground. So we're stretching into that right hip. So you can press the right elbow. I'm really struggling to find right and left. So pressing into that right thigh with the right elbow. If you feel like your chest is lifting up off the floor here and you're kind of on your head or you're very tight, you can grab your blanket or your cushion here and just put it under your head to support you there a little bit. Brilliant. You can rock from side to side here if that feels good. And then just bringing that left foot down onto the floor, releasing the right foot down. Just take a moment in the middle and then take that left foot. Let's do that opposite side. You're pressing that left elbow into the left leg. Maybe rocking from side to side. Good. Bring the right foot down onto the mat and then release the left leg. And just adjusting the hips in the middle here. Just rest the hands down by the side of your body, the palms on the ground. I'm just going to take the shoulders away from the ears. If your head is on a very soft cushion, maybe don't do this next movement, or remove the cushion. And we're just going to roll the chin towards the right side. So just stretching it through the left side of that neck. And then come all the way back into center. And then bring it to the opposite side. And then coming all the way back into center, and just tilt the chin gently. So we do this sometimes when we're sitting at the start of the class. We're going to tilt the chin gently backwards. Good. And then a little, you don't get too much movement here, but trying to get those double chins lengthening to the back of the neck, just very gently. And then come back into a neutral position with the head. Good. So we're going to move into Shavasana now. Grab whatever you need to get comfortable, maybe socks for your feet, maybe your blanket. I'm going to just grab my blanket and put it under my knees. I'm just going to roll it up into, you can do this with a cushion either. I'm rolling this up into kind of lengthways. I'm going to put it under my knees. I'm going to roll back down. And then I'm going to allow my feet to roll out to the side. So I find that really comfortable. If you prefer, you can have it under your head either. It just depends on kind of what's comfortable for you, what's kind of easiest for you to kind of relax completely for the next couple of minutes. So turning the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling, give yourself a little bit of space between your body and your arms. Again, you're making sure the shoulders are relaxed. And then when you're ready, in your own time, you're just going to close the eyes. And just try and let go of everything that we've just done. Maybe just loosening through the jaw, allowing the tongue to float to the roof of the mouth. Relax the area between the eyebrows. Just allowing the body to get really heavy. At the top of your body, sink into your back body. And then just feel your back body melting away. And the thinking and the planning and the forward moving part of your brain, just allow all of that to sink back. Slowly starting to bring your awareness back. Maybe touching the thumbs off each finger, pressing gently into each one. Wriggling the toes, stretch them away from you, and then maybe reach the arms behind in a full body stretch. And then very gently just bringing one knee in and then the other, and just give yourself a little hug. And then bringing those feet down onto the floor, just rolling onto the right side, resting your head into your hands. So just taking this last little moment to yourself, and just close the eyes. And then really slowly we're going to move back into our seated position. If you want to keep the eyes closed, or gently flick them open. I'm going to grab my blanket. I'm also going to cross the legs in an easy position. Just find yourself some way that's comfortable for you. Shoulders away from the ears, hands resting down onto the thighs. I'm just going to take a moment here to sense what's going on in the body after that. Good, and then opening the eyes. Let's just roll the shoulders before we finish. So big circles with the shoulders. Once, twice, and then back in the opposite direction. Good, and then we're going to lift the shoulders straight up to the ears on an inhale, and then a big exhale down. Just releasing everything. Let's do that twice more. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, release everything out. Last chance, let it all go. Inhale, lift, and then exhale. Good work, everybody. Thanks so much for coming.